If you want to apply for a visa to Canada, it all starts with you creating an account on the official IRC's website. I've had several calls and emails and messages from people telling me they wanted to create an account on IRC's website and they were made to pay $10, $5 or whatever. That is not the official IRC's website. On the official IRC's website, you only pay money when you submit your documents, when you submit the visa application, not before. So make sure, even if you Googled and they took you to the website, make sure you check the URL and be sure it ends in .gc.ca. That is the official handle of all government websites in Canada. If it doesn't end in .gc.ca, that is not an official government of Canada website. So after creating the account, you will be given the option to choose which visa type you want to apply for, and they will ask you several questions afterwards. So the answers you give for these questions will, one, determine your eligibility for that visa type, and two, determine the kind of documents you have to submit. So as an example, it may be that two people are applying for visit visa, and yet they'll both have to submit different documents based on the answers they gave. Some documents will be mandatory for everybody, but a few may be different. And after submitting your documents, you will be made to pay an amount depending on the visa type. For most of them, soon after, you will receive a confirmation letter that they have received it. Since you applied online, they receive it instantly. And then whatever correspondence, whether to submit your biometrics or your medicals or whatever, you receive updates in your IRCC portal only. The only emails you will be receiving will be to direct you to your account, that you have received an update in your account. So log into your account and see what is happening there. IRCC will never send you an email. They will never give you a call. And even if they will send you an email for whatever reason, that email is also going to end in .gc.ca. If that is not it, that is not the official IRCC email. They won't use their personal emails to contact you. So beware of that. Scammers are all over. And also, for whatever document they ask you to submit, whether to give your biometrics or your medicals or whatever, they will have a deadline. Like, you have to submit your biometrics within 30 days. If you realize that you won't be able to submit it in 30 days, it will have instructions for you to be able to reach the web to submit a web form. Make sure you follow it and submit a web form. Don't just assume they should know that you weren't able to book your biometrics within that 30-day frame. They don't know. Submit that web form. Once you submit it, you are done. Even if they don't reply to it, automatically you will be able to submit your biometrics after the 30 days. Because what I realize, especially in Ghana, is lately they are so overbooked that you barely ever get to book your biometrics within 30 days. It's mostly over 30 days. So just submit a web form. Then you can relax and wait till that day and go and take your biometrics. Medicals too will be the same. Once they ask you for medicals, you just book it as soon as possible and go for it. If you are not able to submit it within the time frame, submit a web form. If you think your application is delaying, like I said previously, check the processing times online. If it's over it, submit a web form. Sometimes they may not respond to your web form. Sometimes they will, but mostly they won't respond if you are still within the normal processing times. And once you submit a web form, you receive an automatic email from them, and it will explain to you that if you are within normal time frame, they will not respond to you. If you want to change anything in your application, like maybe your personal details, your address, your contact number, or whatever have changed, you have to submit a web form. Everything is submit a web form. And once everything is done and the decision have been made on your application, they will ask you to submit your passport for your visa, and that will also come with instructions still in that same portal you opened. That is why mostly when you are working with agents, they create the account for you so they can have access to it. I think that is just to guarantee they get their money back, because if they decide not to give you access to it, that'll be the end of the application. So yeah, that's why I always educate people to create your own accounts, to try and do things by yourself. At least, since it's for you, the least you can do is to invest your own time in your own self. But if you think the process is too stressful, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, but you want someone else to do it for you, then be ready to pay for whatever amount they demand for, because that is what they value the time they are going to spend on it. And once you receive your passport with your visa intact, they will update your account, and then that will be the end of it. They will close it, but your account will still remain active for in case you want to apply for another visa or whatever later. That same account you created is the one you will continue to use, because it has your details, it has your biometric tracking info and everything. So you won't have to submit another biometrics within the following 10 years. And what else do I want to say about it? Yeah, so this is basically it about almost every visa you want to apply for. But as you may all know, there are different types of visas. So some visas will require you take only biometrics, no medicals. Some visas you have to take both biometrics and medicals. Some visa types will take a bit longer, some won't. If you're applying for like express entry, you start even way before you come to create the account, because you have to go through the express entry portal first before it gets to a point where you receive an invitation to apply, before you now go through this process I just explained. So yes, like I said, every visa type is completely different, but they all start with you creating the account and then waiting for correspondence from IRCC, no matter how long it's going to take. Yes, I do admit some do take a very long time to be processed, especially since after COVID, and the excuse have always been that there's a backlog. Sometimes some people are able to get it quicker, some people still have to stay for a very long time. I applied for a visa recently. It took barely a month for a visitor's visa. I have a friend who applied way before me, about 2 months before I applied for mine, and they've still not received a response yet, and it's been like 5 months already. Whilst I applied for the same visit visa for my in-law, and it took just a month. So yes, like I said, every profile is different. So you may apply with your friend and they'll receive theirs and yours will still be waiting. But if anything like that happens, the first thing you do is check the processing times, and if it's more than that, submit a web form. Have a nice day.